Hi, everybody. Come see me in Atlantic City, February 3rd at the Borgata Resort Spa and Casino. February 4th. Where are you, Patriot fans? Wicked Pissa. It's going to be retarded. I'm at Foxwoods Theater, February 4th. Atlantic City, Borgata, February 3rd. Foxwoods, February 4th. Holler.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
All right, it's more stories. It's Thursday. And by the way, everybody leaving comments on iTunes, that stuff counts. And it's really great, and I appreciate it. And iTunes is where I go and where we all go, and the SMOD network where we go to see how you feel about this little podcast. Boy, what a horrible, laborious way to start a damn podcast. Leave comments. Do stuff. Hey guys, do stuff, okay? New website, relaunching jaymohr.com, and the Facebook page for more stories is right there on the link. New sponsors, this is big news, you guys, for more stories. J Brand jeans for women, size 24, any style. Land Rover and Coke Zero. Also, Northern Lights marijuana, sativa Northern Lights. Glad to have everyone aboard. We are roaming the world, roaming the earth, waiting for a sponsor to say, "Hey, we'll help you guys out." But so far, we're sponsor free. As long as you keep coming out to see the shows, no sponsors. But I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. And you know what? I owe everyone listening an apology. This is the most dog shit start to a podcast there's ever been. Skyler Stone is with us. Of course, Matt Cohen on the Wheels of Steel. Not the Fresh Prince, the DJ. What was his name? DJ Jazzy Jeff over here. You know, in the old days, Skyler, in the old days of hip hop, do you remember? Like the DJ was like the guy. Like he was the.
Not anymore.
No.
Not it's
you
like
have to lower his crazy Vince Vaughn mic.
There's no credit.
Give Vince Vaughn right away.
Is that what you want right now, baby? Is that what's going on right now? Because right now we're in the fake mustache studios, okay? But I don't need this, okay? You think I need this? I don't need a headache, all right? Because Daddy's here, okay? Daddy wants to play ball. You know what I'm talking about? So why don't you pass it over here, and I'll get an assist. I'll be your Pippin, all right? I don't fucking need this right now.
From way downtown, bang! Skyler Stone just heaved one from the way at the top of the key. Nothing but net. Oh, my! Oh! Putting more stories back ahead. Jay Mohr ran that offense into the ground. Coach Cohen put Skyler Stone in the game, and he just buries a three and gets fouled for the 4-point play. Hi, I don't know why Harry Carey's doing basketball. He's like, hi, Patrick Ewing seems to only breathe out of his mouth. Unbelievable how much a man can sweat. You'd think he'd run out of fluids eventually.
Do you go into impressions in parts? Because you do a lot of impressions. Do you do it in like when you're like if you're ever going to fight with your wife? Do you ever just? She's like, right now you're doing Colin. Like, do you ever just go into one?
No. Well, we've never had a fight. Oddly, we've never raised a voice.
What are you talking about?
No, for real. Matt Coco, no. Like we never.
I mean, that's cute and all to say, but like, come on,
bro. You know me as well as anybody knows me.
Yeah.
I'm a guy like...
Which is why I'm having a hard time believing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would just tell you straight up, like, ugh, hey, my wacky wife making me nuts. Like,
right.
You were in that house.
Yeah, I mean, you've admitted to sucking a little boy's penis when you're a little boy. I'm pretty sure you'd probably...
It felt good getting it. I didn't like doing it. But getting
but you did it.
I said it to when Colin Quinn podcast, we were talking about it. And I was talking to Gary Goldman, who's coming out. He's going to do the podcast. Love Gary Goldman. Hi, Monty. I said, people like it really, when I tell that story on stage about...
They get uncomfortable.
But the women are the ones that yell stuff at me. Like, that's disgusting. And I'm always like, bitch, I quit.
I don't still do it.
Like, you're going to go home tonight and be like licking balls and like, oh, you like that? Like, for what? For a comedy show and a ride home? You're going to blow? Like, I just did it because it felt good. Like, at least I went out like a man, a soldier. I went out with my sword sticking straight up. Like, I didn't even ejaculate. It was just like little, like the size of like a pacifier nub. It was little tiny kid dicks. And it all starts behind the garage. Like, let's pee. And you cross the streams. And that's really Ghostbusters. Is really just a larger picture of the reason you don't cross the streams is because it winds up to like touching your dicks together. Yes. Like, haha, it's funny. You did it.
I know, but I do remember the first time that I ever played with the vagina. I just opened it up back and forth. I just kept doing it. I kept going, wow, it opens. I had no idea they opened, and I just treated it like a little trapdoor.
You've always been family first.
Yes. Oh my God, what is happening? I don't believe that you've never raised your voice just once, though.
No.
Has she raised her voice at you?
Never. Once, leaving the Craig Ferguson show, I said to them, hey, if you ever have like anybody fall out, I'll be your guy. Like, you know, Johnny Carson always called like Buddy.
Buddy, I always call Buddy Hackett. Mm-hmm. Johnny will call me up, and I would just put together 5-6 minutes, but I never did my act.
Really? So I said to the people at Craig Ferguson once, I was going to Gary Unmarried, I said, if you ever have like a fallout, let me be your guy. Let me be your Buddy Hackett.
Yeah.
I'm in the parking lot leaving the Craig Ferguson show. Mm-hmm. They run out and they say, Christian Slater is like an hour late. Can you come back and just hang out and we'll just bang you up? And I'm like, and all of this, I don't know why. Like 10 minutes ago, I'm like, I'm your guy. And in the parking lot at CBS Center Studios, I said,
you did not back out.
I was like, I gotta go. Like I was done. You know, like when the show's over, you're like, oh, I'm like, yeah, maybe next time, but that's great. And my wife goes, are you a fucking idiot?
She screamed at you?
Like, just said it loud.
But did you know, was it noticeable where you're like, honey, this has never happened before?
But she wasn't angry. She was more like using my own words, like, you just told them.
Yeah.
So then I went back and I even said to them, like, I don't know what, I just had a total like brain freeze. Mm-hmm. I'm your guy. Like, I'm sorry.
So you did it.
I hung out and then he showed up an hour late to promote some show that got canceled really quick.
You mean one of his 3 that got canceled in the last year?
Yes. Greetings and salutations. Is that him? Was that close? So the reason you're on is you're a great impressionist. We've been friends a very long time. You had a great show on, was it FX?
Comedy Central.
Comedy Central Con?
Mm-hmm. Con.
That was fun as hell. And it was basically you running around pulling pranks, but like real like intricate pranks.
It was real because it literally came straight out of my life. It was like
straight out of Compton.
Straight out of Kalamazoo, actually.
Patrick Ewing, break this free throw again. I don't understand how a man that tall.
Sorry.
You're literally combining impressions right now.
No, that was it was just not good.
I also love that Harry Carey moved to New York.
You know, I don't care what town I'm in, as long as there's Schlitz beer. Oh, it's delicious. Grace is safe. Oh, the umpire called the ball.
Do you think he was on pills, or do you think he just was that way?
I think he was drunk a lot, like super drunk.
Just drunk,
like
or something
middle
else?
of the day, like in the heat of like August in Chicago.
I'm picking up a Percocet vibe as well, like beer and Percocet.
I could see towards the end because like with his weird hips and knees, like he was an old guy. And blind.
Yeah.
Like the other announcers, like Johnny Most of the Celtics.
Right.
When I watch like the Knicks on the NBA package, and by the way, thank you NBA for cutting 20 games and keeping the NBA package the same price.
Right.
Let me pull your cock out of my ass. Appreciate that. Your phone fell. Don't forget that, sweetie.
They're treated like the way an airline treats weather. They're like, it's not our fault. Like we can't put you up in a hotel. Like, we're not going to discount that.
And it's not like I'm not going to get fuck them, man. You know what? I'll show them.
Yeah.
Like last night, I got the NHL pack. I'm watching the Bruins beat Calgary 9-0. Like I'm sitting there, like my baby's asleep, my wife's asleep, and I'm like, it's not. It wasn't until the game was over, and they're like 9-0, crazy, and I'm like, you know, like 5-0, I probably could have went to bed.
Yeah.
Like it's not, I mean 9-0 in baseball, like it's over.
Yeah.
In fucking hockey, that's a week's worth of goals.
Unless you got Freeze and you're in the playoffs and you're the Cardinals. We came back from what was that score?
David Freeze.
Dude.
The best thing Harry Carey ever said was, someone dropped the ball. Oh, what I was going to say earlier, and I'm going to write stuff down as we go. I explain this to all the guests. It's only because I get so sidetracked, I have to keep a little...
I've listened to the podcast. I'm well aware.
All I ask is I need you to be biased. If you're the announcer for the Knicks and you're Clyde Frazier, I need you to go, ooh, that's a terrible move from the young neophyte. He was swishing and dishing and tried to post and toast, but there was no toast at the end of the drive. Like, I need you. That was a bad example because Clyde's from another planet. But I need bias. In my hometown announcer, I need someone to go, terrible call. And Harry Carey was like,
he's totally that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Johnny Most from the Celtics,
He was a real old Boston guy. Mrs. Lambier, if you're listening tonight, turn off your radio because your son is... Larry Bird got stabbed under the rim and the referee turned a blind eye.
like this guy would say stuff like that. And then he had Johnny Most had both of his legs amputated.
Really?
And one of his arms. And he would still sit courtside in his wheelchair with like a vodka Collins and go,
Oh my God, the referees are out to stick it to the Celtics tonight.
Jack Buck, did you listen to Jack Buck much?
greatest of all time, called Kirk Gibson's game one, I believe, 1988 home run, where you see the
Yes,
people,
he did.
when you see people leaving the parking lot, Dodger
Jack Buck,
fans.
he would one of his famous lines when there would be like a bad call. You almost felt like he was connected in some St. Louis mob way because he'd be like, "That was a bad. We're going to do something about this. We're going to do." I mean, you were always like, "What do you mean? Who's we? Like, what do you?" I swear to God, he'd always say, "We're going to do something about this," and it's like, "What are you going to do?" And then like you always wondered if Jack
Then
Buck
his son Joe Buck has no inflection in his voice whatsoever. There's a grand slam by Ryan Howard tying the game. This game is brought to you by Entenmann's chocolate chip cookies.
Please tell me you hate him.
Well, I would just say I wish, because it's a digital, I'll not get some corporate gig now with Joe Buck because I'm on record saying something shitty about him.
Well, I don't get corporate gigs, so I'm going to go on record and say he's terrible.
I'll say I wish he showed a little more passion for what I'm watching.
How about not crapping on your father's legacy? How about
It's one way to put it.
Yeah.
When David Tyree and Eli Manning hit each other when Eli Manning threw it to David Tyree in the Super Bowl, that's maybe the single greatest Super Bowl catch ever. David Tyree didn't catch the ball. He pinned it against his own helmet with the back of his hand 30 yards away from the court. Do you remember this catch?
No, not
Manning
really.
almost got sacked 3 times by the Patriots, and then he just chucks it as hard as he can. And David Tyree is double covered by the Patriots, and he just jumps straight. David Tyree's not even in football anymore. It's a complete fluke. The ball hits his face mask and rolls up his helmet, and it like... How like your dog would like trap a tennis ball, like like he like just pins the ball against his helmet, and on the way to the turf puts it to his chest. It's the greatest. It's the one right before it's the play before Plaxico Burress's game-ending Super Bowl. Manning, but you got to keep in mind, like guys literally have Eli Manning's jersey in their hand to pull him down to the ground, and he's just like that guy you can't get.
Manning, still on his feet, throws. Tyree. Caught.
That's the call.
That's all he said.
I'll pull it up later if you want. I've been sticking the mic into my computer for, V Nasty and the like. But Harry Carey, somebody dropped a pop fly once, and he goes,
I don't get it. Here's a guy that grew up in the Dominican Republic or Cuba or someplace where the sun is shining all the time, and he loses a pop fly in the sun. I just don't get it.
I was like, that is amazing. He was disgusted at a Cub and disgusted at a race of people that are.
He's raised someplace where the sun's shining all the time, and he loses a pop fly in the sun. I don't get it.
That's all you want of your announcers. Is somebody like that's why I hated when Marv Albert went to NBC. Like he was the Knicks guy. Like John Starks, yes, and it count. And now he's like going, Alonzo Mourning, yes. Like, no, you got to be the Knicks guy.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. It feels like a sellout in a way.
So is Joe Buck? Who's the Cardinal guy now?
I don't even know his name.
Good old what's his name? He's on the podcast a lot. Good old what's his name?
What's his ass?
So Con, tell us about the story. Sorry, I've been rambling.
No, Con was.
What do you want your guest get a word in edgewise, JJ?
I was broke when I'm still broke. Who are you kidding? But I was broke when I created that show, and it basically just came out of one day somebody was visiting me. And they came to town and they wanted to just like hang out and, do all the stupid LA shit. Hey, I want to go to the Santa Monica Pier. And like everybody always wants to go to the dumbest places when they come to LA.
The Pier's the best place.
What are you talking about? It's
You come
awful.
from St. Louis. It's the Pacific Ocean. You get to stand over.
I'd rather go out in the ocean. I'd rather go surfing. I want to